And gentlemen, it says we're live, and if it says we're live, we must be live. That's the old music, look. Cool, I found it on my mixing desk. But where are we today? I'm at home today. That's my swimming pool. I've got the sun coming down. I've got a nice white shirt on. It's a bit old, flaking off here. And today is Freaky Friday. And we've got Rik Bahia back. Hey Rik, how's it going?
Fine, thanks, yeah. Just cold and miserable here as usual, but
Cold and miserable as usual, there you go. So here we are, I'm on the balcony in the beautiful warmth. I'm drinking a little bit of a cider today, I thought I'd have. And tonight we're just having soup for tea, so it's a Thai soup for tea.
Of course, you're not allowed out at the moment, are you?
Well, we went up to level 3, I'll talk about that in a minute, but it does mean you are allowed out. It's just that there's a restriction on how many people can get together, and that's not the Delta variant, what's the Omicron variant, or what it's called?
Omicron.
Is here on the island, so my daughter's coming next week. So what we've decided to do is to stay out of risky situations before she comes, because I don't want to infect her and then she can't go back to Germany. So we've decided for the next week we're going to stay out of risky situations and wash your hands, keep your distance, wear your mask, all that stuff. And going to the bar is not conducive with staying out of risky situations, unfortunatamente. Let's see who's online. We're connecting to YouTube as we speak. Okay, there's quite a few people online. We got Charlie, Angry Velo, Julie Wade, Craig Andrews, Moira Fitzsimmons, Craig, Andrew, Jeff Daniels, Pete and Shell, Denny Underwood, and Marie, obviously, probably. Moira, Jeff, Ian the Doorman, good evening. Brian Harrison. Can you say it to my wife, Lynn Harrison? She's feeling a bit down. Hi, Lynn. I hope you're not feeling too down, and I hope we can book you up with a couple of films we've got. Rick's got a couple of videos that he sent me to show. Unfortunately, I did an interview yesterday with Colin McCabe. Colin, if you're watching, the interview looks great, but it hasn't rendered out yet, so I can't send it because out of the camera it's too big. And so I had to render it down to a HD version of this, and it's not finished yet, so it's still taking its time. I tried to do it today, but unfortunatamente, as I say, I couldn't do it. So what I will do though is publish it on its own, an interview with Colin McCabe in Little Germany from yesterday. So that'll be nice and have a look at that. Moira, I'll do Craig. Okay, so what are we going to start with, Rik? What do you think? Should we start with level 3, get it out of the way?
Yeah, go on, talk about that first.
Okay, let me just get this online, because I've got the Hello Canarias here, which is a very good resource. Hello Canary Islands, safe destination. So let me just share this for you. Share this device, share the screen, start the broadcast, and Hello Canary Island. So we've got to bring this, should be able to see on your screen right now. Let's do it like this, 1, 2, that's better. So what you can see here is the Hello Canary Islands, and if you click at the top here, this COVID-19 thing that's going past, and there's another one for volcanic eruption of La Palma, latest news. Safety measures while you're here, the COVID-19 authorised test centres, and the travel insurance policy. So this gives you all the information, and this is actually a website from the Gobierno de Canarias. So it's the government, many languages you like. You can get it in Spanish, English, German, Italian, and France. It's better to read it in Spanish first, because that's the exact one. I've noticed a few some translation errors in the German one. In the German one, in the Spanish one, it says you need either or a PCR test or a vaccine certificate from the EU, not from UK. And so if you're coming from Germany, you need either or. And in the German one, it says you need both. So I looked at the English one, it's either or as well for non-English people. So travelling to the Canary Islands, if we have a look at this, this was updated on the 13th of December. Okay, so it's not been updated for today now. But the link to this, where are we? If you live in a high-risk country, here we are. Where's the high-risk country? Here's the full vaccination. Click here. So, the high-risk countries at the moment are all in Africa. Botswana, Lesotho, Swaziland, Maui, Mozambique, Namibia, South Africa, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. And these are the third countries that do not need the PCR test. That's Saudi Arabia, Argentina, Australia, Bahrain, Canada, Chile, China, Colombia, South Korea, United Arab Emirates, Indonesia, Kuwait, New Zealand, Peru, Qatar, Rwanda, and Uruguay. Unfortunately, the UK is still not on that list. That's the list you want to get on. And these is the other way round. These are the EU countries. Can you see that? Yeah, you can. Okay. Yeah, you can see that. So these are the EU countries that you can see here that are as risk zones. So Alemania, which is Germany, Austria, Belgium, etc., etc. So that was late coming up, actually. That was very late coming up. You didn't see the African one, did you? Okay, let's go back. And what is level 3 about? So let's have a see what level 3 is about. If we go back here to safety measures, this was updated on the 17th, which is today, which is good. And the general measures are: masks must be worn by adults and children over the age of 6 in enclosed public spaces, except when eating or drinking, and outdoors when it's not possible to maintain an interpersonal safety distance of 1.50 m. Not mandatory if you are disabled or have a respiratory condition. The interpersonal distance is set at 1.50 m, which is 5 feet, and the use of products for individual hygiene is encouraged. Appropriate cleaning and disinfection of all establishments and materials and activities in common areas. So that means that you have to clean everything if you're in hospitality. Specific measures: outdoors and enclosed public spaces. You may not smoke or use tobacco inhalation devices when it's not possible to guarantee a 2-meter separation, and smoking is not permitted anywhere on the public highway. So you can't smoke on the pavement. So you can't go out of the bar to the pavement and smoke, because that's not allowed. You have to smoke in a designated smoking area 2 meters away from everybody else, including other smokers, by the way. The tourist accommodation capacity is restricted in common areas and social activities in group classes as per the required social distancing. You'll also come across served buffets where food is plated individually, or self-service buffets where there is a separator screen in the food area. Active tourism, that's like going out on excursions. Open-air active tourism activities entail little risk and are usually run in small groups. Nonetheless, individual sport materials cannot be shared, and specific cleaning and disinfection protocols are in place. So these are like the general measures and the specific measures for any of the alert levels. So these don't change for the alert level. As you can see, the alerts... Tenerife is in alert level 3 between the 18th and the 30th of December, so it starts midnight tonight. So is Gran Canaria, so is Fuerteventura from today to the 23rd. Or it's actually, it was, I think. So those are the alert level 1 restrictions, 2 restrictions, so we'll get to the alert level 3 restrictions now. So these are the specific restrictions for level 3. Restrictions on entering and leaving the island? No, so you can still come. Restrictions mobility at night? No, so you can still go out, there's no curfew. Meetings of people from different households, maximum of 6 people. Now what that means is that if you're meeting in a house or on a street or in a bar, on a table, then there's a maximum of 6 people with different households. Now, if you have 7 people in your family all living under the same roof, you can actually meet in a bar with 7 people. So if you're all under the same roof, it's not a problem. The only thing is you can't have anybody from anywhere else to join you. The reason being is what they're saying is 6 is the maximum. So if you have 2 neighbours, you can still only have 4 other people. It's only when the whole group is one household that they can exceed 6. I hope that's clear. Hospitality in restaurants. So hospitality is typically meant in this respect. The hospitality is the hotels, so in a hotel, and restaurants on the street. Outdoor terrace time 1 a.m. maximum 6 people to the table. So that's the same. Outdoors and indoors is a maximum of 6 people. In the gyms, 33%. Collective public transport, more than 9 seats, 50% maximum capacity. Cultural events, 55% of maximum capacity. Nightlife establishments, open air, 75%, and inside 40%. So nightlife is basically nightclubs and stuff. Spas, jacuzzi, and saunas, 33% of maximum capacity. Outdoor swimming pools, 33%. Shops, businesses, 25%, and beaches, 50%. So, and that's not going to be a problem really, because we're 80% less people than normal. So I don't think we could actually fill the beach half full unless everybody went to the same beach at the same time. So the establishment that takes advantage of the COVID certificate request at the entry enjoy wider opening hours capacity. So if you decide, you're a restaurant and you decide you're going to take advantage of the COVID certificate request where you ask, have you got a COVID, then you can increase your capacity. So for those restaurants that are worried that they're going to have people cancelling, they should just contact the people if they can and say, bring your vaccination certificate with you, and then we can seat you with a higher capacity. But then they have to do that for everybody then on the whole terrace. They can't pick and choose. So either everybody has to have the certificate on the terrace and then they can go more, or if they don't do that, then it doesn't matter. Okay, alert level 4 is worse, but we're hoping we're not going to go to that. But basically the difference is closing time. Actually, this is wrong. Closing time 1 a.m. on level 4. I don't think that's right. I'll check the Spanish one. But if you do go to Hello Canarias, they do update this regularly, and it'll give you all the details there in English. But the easiest one is to go into the Spanish version and have a look. I'll just have a quick look here what alert levels 4 is. No, it says on the Spanish one it's the same. So there doesn't seem to be a difference. Yeah, but it doesn't seem to be a difference between 3 and 4. That's the problem. I'll have to check that.
I thought 4 was a lockdown.
I thought 4 was a lockdown. I thought, I'll have to check that one. But anyway, not there yet, but that's the level 3. If I see anything else, I'll put a link in the description to the new one. Let's have a look to see what you guys are saying. Obviously, I couldn't see what you're saying there. Everyone needs to get jabbed to get the booster, and you're running a business, you've not been jabbed, don't moan when it goes bust, says Carl. You're right in one respect, but not everybody has access to everything. Luckily on the island we do have access to the booster, so it's a personal choice if you don't get done. But eventually, if they do sort of start making you do it, which I disagree with really. I mean, I do believe that everybody should get jabbed, but I don't believe that a government should force you to get jabbed, because that's only one step away from forcing you to neuter idiots, right? And we don't want to do that. Okay, jabbed and boosted, jabbed and boosted. Go ahead. Go ahead, Rick.
Sorry. No, I was going to say, in practical terms, for tourists, though, level 3 doesn't make a great deal of difference. I mean, they can still carry doing, go to bars and sit outside, and it's only if you're in very large groups.
Right.
The rule of 6, effectively. But most people don't go in those sort of groups. They go in couples or 4s or whatever. So
even if they are, you only have to just book 2 tables.
Yeah. Yeah, and many people don't stay out till beyond 1 o'clock in the morning. So,
That's also true.
in practical terms, it's not a great deal for tourists, but certainly level 4 might be.
Yeah,
Hopefully
right.
that doesn't happen in January because quite a few people were hoping to go out after Christmas.
Unfortunately, what happens here is even though they say we're on level 3 until the 30th of December, they check again next Thursday. But with it being Christmas, I don't think they'll be coming together. So then, obviously, the government has to react, and the laws that they bring in is to try and convince people to do the right thing. Now, obviously, it's not working because if everybody sat on their hands, wore the mask, didn't touch anybody, and stayed away from everybody else for 2 weeks, then nobody would get infected. Infections would be zero. Am I right with that? If you're not near somebody, you can't get infected. You can't get it off the toilet seat.
Zero.
Well, I mean, if everybody just stayed in the house,
go to zero if everybody stayed in their houses. 14
right? Yeah, but I mean, if you don't stay in the house, if you go out and you distance 1.50 m and you don't get close to somebody indoors, let's say you go supermarket shopping and everybody respects the distance, and you wash your hands after you've gone and been, and you don't touch your face, then you're not going to get infected, are you? Unless it's more than one, unless the virus can jump more than 1.50 m, or somebody's not wearing a mask or something like that. So that's what I'm saying is, if you stick to the rules, then obviously it should be either a flat line or it should be going down. So obviously there are a lot of people not sticking to the rules, and I meet them every day. And they don't think it's a problem because they say, we're in the open air, who cares? But you stood next to me like this, or you're passing me on the street, and you're sort of like coughing in your elbow like you're supposed to. But you're going to get it. You're going to get it. Hey, is Daniel on?
Well, you'll get it if they're infected. Yeah.
The Craicmaster's on. Hey guys. Scotsman and Tenerife song, wow. Hey guys. Thanks for supporting us, hey, on Freaky Friday. We're from home today. If anybody wants to jump in the room, it's open. Just come in and say hello. If you're not sure, or if you are sure, you can come in and say hello as well. But we're going to play some stuff from Rik now. Do you want to set up this segment, Rik?
I'll tell you what, Tim. Put on the slide about the doubling the set, because that will actually, and then we'll leave it with the audience because
okay,
that will explain why these cases are going so quickly.
Here we go.
Let's put that first one up.
There you go.
So this is just basically for my maths and science channel. It's one of my little teasers to explain exponential growth, and I called it the $1 million question. I mean, it basically asks, do you accept $1 million today, or 1 cent, which doubles every day over 30 days? And this aims to explain the power of compounding and exponential growth. So I'll leave this with you, and we'll discuss it later on in the program. Just have a lot of ponder over it in your mind. What do you do? Take $1 million today, or a cent, but this cent doubles every day for 30 days.
I'll have the $1 million, please, Rik. Do you want my bank account?
Well, you could wait 30 days.
This was a giveaway, right? Not a question. I thought this was a giveaway. Would you rather have $1 million, pounds, euros today, or would you rather have a cent today, 2 cents tomorrow, 4 cents the next day, 8 cents the next day? It not only doubles, but it adds, right? So you get to keep the 1 cent and then the 2 cent. You get to keep the 4 cent and the 8 cent. No?
That's exactly what. That's it.
Okay. So it doubles everything.
That's essentially what's happening to the. So the doubling times 1 day.
So if the doubling times 1 day, that's what happens to COVID.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, think about it. What's happening with Omicron in the UK? It's doubling every 2 days. So it's that's why I put it up. It's a good analogy, except we're talking about money here.
Okay.
Anyway,
So we'll come back with the answer later. We'll come back with the answer later. Okay, I'm banging me bloody me microphone in. So let's have a quick look at
let's put Teresita's beach on.
Teresita's beach. So this is a drone shot of Teresita's up near Santa Cruz. If you look at the capital Santa Cruz and look to the right, then there's a nice little bay there and a little beach. And this is a drone footage from Rik from your visit a couple of weeks ago, right?
Yeah, I was taking a few. I've taken footage there many times, but this was taken a few weeks ago.
Okay. So
this is a beach.
It's very short, but have a nice look at this.
Essentially just near Santa Cruz in the north, in a place called San Andres. It's basically an artificial beach that was created. It was actually completed in 1973 with white sand imported from Western Sahara.
I just died.
I think they imported tons of sand.
I think I froze.
Try that again.
I think I froze. Let me just. We can still hear you, right?
Yeah, I think I didn't see it properly, but.
And we're still live, so that's quite good.
Yeah, well, I'll carry on with it. Anyway, it was an artificial beach that was created for the community in 1973. I mean, apparently before the beach was built, there was just stones and rocks, effectively, and farmland surrounding the ravine. It's actually a wonderful setting for a beach. It's about 1 kilometre long, and I think it's probably the most beautiful beach on the island. Certainly, and it's very safe because there's a breakwater about 150 metres from the edge of the beach. So certainly the locals use it a lot, particularly at weekends. Not many tourists go there, though. Not many people actually know about it. So I'd certainly recommend anyone to have a look at it when they go towards Santa Cruz.
So my camera just died, but I've got the other camera here, so we can do this. There you go. I wonder why that is.
Yeah.
It just lost signal to the Wi-Fi. Oh, there you go. It came back now. That's amazing. Amazing. Ascent doubling over 30 days will far surpass 1 million, says the Craicmaster. Would you take the scent? You would take the scent as it would grow to nearly 500 million, says Graham. Could be 5 point something million. I think not 500 million, but.
Yeah.
Sorry, Moira, it's 8 o'clock, says Sean. I see Tenerife had 1,149 yes, 1,149 cases yesterday and 8 deaths, says John Drew. Yeah, it was a massive spike yesterday. Such a shame you're buffering, Tim. It must be the network latency. Okay, let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of the iPad mini. Okay, we're just on one machine here now. So this is the one machine. We should be okay. Just not a nice picture because it's too low down. Okay, Rik. Have we got another one to show?
Yeah. Show it. Can you show the other one? The Santa Cruz Auditorium.
The Auditorium.
That's something you'll see on the way if you're going to Teresita's beach.
There we go.
This is the Auditorium in Santa Cruz. I mean, it's got echoes of the Sydney Opera House. It was completed in 2003. Apparently Bill Clinton visited it when he was on a conference there in 2005. It's actually a very, very impressive building. It's massive. It's certainly the most prominent contemporary building in the Canary Islands.
Yeah, it's
certain in the surrounding area. There's certainly some artificial lakes or swimming pools, I should say, saltwater swimming pools, municipal ones.
Yeah, you can pay I think €5 to get in.
Yeah, it's even less than that. I think it's probably about €3 or something.
Okay.
In Santa Cruz.
And I think right next to that they have the park
you know,
with the palms, the Palmaria.
That's right. There's a park there, and there's a beautiful, absolutely massive restaurant that you can sit outside and on the balconies. Absolutely wonderful place to visit. The only problem is that the weather can be a little bit inconsistent in Santa Cruz.
The weather?
I'll tell you what I did see though. No, not the weather, but when I was there 3 or 4 weeks ago, I think you can't really see it properly on the drone footage, but in the sort of the grounds before the auditorium, there were a couple of pop-up restaurants, or semi-permanent, I should say, and they're frequented by the local people really. And I tell you what, the food they were cooking there, I haven't seen that on the rest of the island. It was actually really good stuff. It smelled so lovely. I didn't have any time to eat it, unfortunately, but I've got to visit it next time. I mean, really proper local stuff. And obviously it was very, very, very busy. It was a bit like being in Cheltenham on a Friday night, except this was Friday at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So it was a sort of a more upmarket crowd there.
I'm still buffering, I think.
Place. It's something you don't see as a tourist normally.
That's true. Where is that again?
Well, it was just in the grounds of the auditorium.
Okay.
You get a couple of semi-permanent restaurants.
Cool.
I was really surprised actually they're open until 2 o'clock in the morning. It's just it's surprising because they're away from the main sort of centre. I mean, in fact, Santa Cruz itself is, I've driven through it, but I haven't walked around it. I mean, this time I actually walked around it because I was buying some camera equipment. And it is actually, it's probably the only proper city in Tenerife, squares and, the sort of thing you see in London or Paris or something like that. I mean, Puerto de la Cruz is a city, but it's a slightly different kind of city. It's not mold. Yeah. I mean, Las Palmas in the Gran Canaria is similar. I mean, that's the largest city in the Canary Islands.
Okay.
That's a wonderful place as well. Yeah.
I find that
Barcelona, that is.
Yeah, Santa Cruz is a real city, as you say, but it's got a great street cafe vibe as well. There's some. If you walk up from the Plaza de Europa, where the big lake is, and you walk up that into the square, and you walk up to the left side of the square, that street there, on all the left and right streets going up, they've got little cafes and restaurants, and the lunchtime trade there is quite good. And if you get the tram up to La Laguna, there's a nice pedestrianised area in La Laguna there, so that's nice to visit. So I think it's well worth when it's not COVID time to go to the capital.
Definitely. And the last videos is one of Candelaria. That's on the way to Santa Cruz. So all this is sort of on the northeast coast.
You want to play that one?
Yeah, some of you will recognise Candelaria. It's famous for its basilica.
I think they pronounce it Candelaria.
Candelaria. Yeah.
Candelaria. Because in Spanish,
I think of the emphasis is on the last syllable, wasn't it?
The second to last syllable. The second to last syllable of every word is the emphasis. So Candelaria.
But it's certainly the very famous for being a place of worship for Catholics in the Canary Islands, and there's a festival held there I think in the first week of February. That's quite large. These are the statues of the Guanches, that they were the chiefs, that they were the indigenous people in the Canary Islands before they were wiped out by the Spanish in the 14th century. I mean, it's a very impressive basilica.
So it looks like we're frozen.
You used to get a vantage point behind it. Behind the basilica, you could go on that headland and actually take photographs. But unfortunately, there's I was going to say gendarmerie, but that's French. But the second tier of police. What is it? It's not the locale. It's the next one up that you get in the Canary Islands in Spain. They've got their offices there, so obviously it's you can't actually go on that headland anymore. But it's certainly a great place. A lot of tourists visit that place, and it's got a great square, nice shopping and restaurants and cafes. Lovely place.
I have to do something because people are saying it's buffering too much, so I'm going to change the Wi-Fi.
So, I wonder if we had a few correct answers on the in the comments about the poser, and the answer is that you would get $5.3 million at the end of 30 days, and that's doubling for you. If it doubles every day, that's 30 doublings. But that's how exponential growth works. The last few doublings really make a huge difference to the size of the numbers. We'll have a look at the slide later when Tim's back. I don't know what he's doing, but
Okay, I couldn't find the other Wi-Fi for the simple reason that I've tidied up and I can't remember where I put it. So if we're still buffering, let me just check on here. Freaky Friday with guests, here we go. So it looks like it's gone dark. Okay, it looks like we're still buffering.
well, are we on a weaker signal or something?
I don't know. I don't know whether people can see us or not. But yeah, buffering every few seconds. That was at 18:28. So that was 2 minutes ago. Can't follow this conversation at all. Unfortunately, all the iOS devices upgraded today. Gonna log off. Take care. I'll see you. Okay, it looks like we're just buffering. So we're gonna finish it. Okay, so I'm gonna knock you out, Rick, if that's okay.
Yeah, okay.
Thanks a lot, man. See you later. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is Tim down for Living with MS in Tenerife. If you got this far, thank you for sticking with me. There's obviously a technical problem, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye. 10,000, 9,000.